Don't forget to press the subscribe button and click the bell icon to stay up to date with all our videos. Okay, so as you can see, we do get the result at this point, and now our task is to put this recipes into the result component. So how are we going to do that? We can simply pass on the result. So first of all, I'll have to make a state const result set result. Use state will be an empty object. So, or I can even use an empty array. Okay, so what happens here is if I get data, so if data dot hits dot length is greater than 0, so that is when I'm supposed to pass on the data or set the state. So set result to data dot hits, so this will work. And what I need to do here is I'll just pass on the recipes. I'll name it recipes and results. So it's results. So I can even name it whatever I want, but okay, so let's check what do we get here. First of all, let me add result here or recipe, and JSON dot stringify is just because this is an object, we are supposed to pass on a string. But if you want to view an object, you need to do JSON dot stringify. So right now, as you can see, we don't have anything. There is no API call, so we don't see anything. But if I write something apple, I might see something in a while. Did I save this thing? Okay, I did, but for some reason it's not passing along, or maybe it's just the wrong name. Recipes. Okay, as you can see, the object empty array, fruit, and here it is. We have a bunch of recipes, and this is an array, so we can easily destructure it, and we can map through it and just get whatever we want. So apple will have a bunch of this guys, and what we will do is, just for the sake of simplicity at this point, I'll just get the label out of it. So right now we are interested in label, so I'll just run or do a map function, recipes.map recipe return p recipe.label, and it's supposed to be an object, so this will work. But in a case where it's gonna throw an error initially, not initially, but if there's nothing there, so let's try. If I in which scenario there won't be anything. So if I make a typo, or if I write something in a different language and the API cannot understand, in those situations we won't receive anything, or you can figure out. So let me type some random things here. Oops. Okay, so it's not supposed to understand this, and it is going to throw us an error, or not an error, but it gave us nothing. So hits is an empty array, so it didn't give us anything. But if I type in banana again, it is supposed to give us a list of items. Let's see, what do we get here? Okay, so just because we haven't passed in return at this point, return recipes.map. This should work, but if it doesn't work this way, hits dot. Okay, this is strange. We didn't get what we expected. So, oh, but we got the recipe. So this one is something like this: recipe, and that's when you get something out of it. So banana, and here it is. So there is a bunch of things here. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to use it, but we will even destructure it. So it would be something like this, and it's supposed to have parentheses. So we can simply use recipe.label. This should work as we expect. So chicken, and there it is. So this is great. And if you change this, if you change the next, it's going to give us new recipes. Now the issue is that, take a look at this pagination stuff. I'm at 10, I go to 20, 30, 40, right? So now if I want to check for tomatoes, so let me open the browser as well. It's not this one, this thing. Okay, the console, sorry. Okay, so if I look for tomatoes, it is going to search from 40. So we need to somehow change the pagination. So for this one, we do have an answer, and in the state class component, we can take help of component did update. But for this particular scenario where we are using hooks, we'll have to use ref. So here is the answer on Stack Overflow from someone, and we will be using this thing. So I'll just copy and paste this stuff. I don't need the callback, I'll just need this use ref. As you can see, use ref, and in the use effect they are assigning the current value to the previous reference, and at this point this is the previous item, so previous value. So in our example we can take it in this way, that if I wrote tomatoes and in the next search if I write apple, so the previous item will be tomatoes and the current item will be apple. So the current item, I mean the search term, will be apple. So let me put the code right here in the app at this stage, and use ref, we need to import it. Previous item reference, we don't have any props, but we do have search term, and previous item will do this, our previous search, we should name it this way, and previous search, okay, this makes more sense. All right, so previous search. Okay, so now here we have previous search. So what I can do here is, before doing an API call, just because we have our pagination at this point, I will go ahead and do one thing. Var current pagination equals to pagination, which will take the previous value, and here I will do a check. If my previous search is not equal to the current search, so not the current search, but search term. So what should I do? I should change the current pagination to 0, and also set state, just because we are using this, just because set state is an asynchronous call. So we will do just set pagination to 0, and at this point we will use current pagination, so we are up to date, and current pagination and current pagination. Okay, so this should work, and if there is an empty array, we can handle that as well. The hits are empty, we can handle that. So I'll remove the console log and let's check for the result. This is going to throw us an error, but if I try to put in the previous search, at this point it's going to do multiple calls, so which we don't really want. So that's fine. This is this is not actually an error, but a warning from ESLint. So T0, but we do get a bunch of things. This is 0 is just pagination. I do the next, I get a bunch of other stuff. Next, 30 items. If I do velvet, see it changed to 0, but there's an issue. This calls for too many requests. So we need to check what it is. So how are we going to do that? Alright, so the reason is we are doing the set pagination at this point, and that's calling it multiple times. So cake, okay, this is good, not bad. We removed the console so we can't see anything, but let me try next, and banana. Okay, so there is still an issue that it is sending too many requests to this API. Let's see what is the free limit. So if we go to dashboard, can I get something here? Okay, let's see the stats. Okay, this shows that I did hit it 64 times. It's a 64 times, okay. Yeah, I sign up. Okay. Alright, so this is something I'll have to take a look, and I'll figure it out and I'll tell you what it is in the next video. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.